fans around the world, we have some news just came in, apparently being reported from multiple outlets. George CM Punk Kambosos Jr. versus Devin the Dream Haney. Fighting out of Melbourne. Apparently it's a go. All contracts are in and signed and everybody's happy. Or I shouldn't say Devin's happy. He has no choice. He's the B-side. He does what he's told. That's what Kambosos said. Very funny. So we are on. We have a fight, and this will apparently happen in June 4th, the Marvel Stadium, live on ESPN. I'd be surprised if Sky doesn't pick it up. But this is interesting because I'm going to make some tinfoil predictions on this one early. I know it's not yet Friday, but I wanted to get this out now. I'm going to make some tinfoil predictions on this one. If you ask me, this fight does not have an ending. I suspect what you're going to see is Devin Haney going in there putting on a very boring masterclass against George CM Punk Kambosos to the point where Devin Haney is able to essentially nullify Kambosos' offense. Kambosos is a solid fighter. He's fast. He's very fast. He's tough as nails. But I have a suspicion that Haney's just going to do a boring fight like he usually does and win on at least people's eyes a decision. I suspect, though, he's not going to get the decision on the cards. I suspect that we're going to see a draw, a highly disputed draw. I suspect that this is potentially a conspiracy to either set up a rematch, which there is a rematch clause in the contract. Kambosos' side asked for it. I suspect it's either that, or we see Kambosos get the win when he shouldn't have, or we see some other sketchiness, like they used to call it in the wrestling business a dusty finish. That there's something that's going to happen that people don't expect, and it's not what they saw that night in the ring. That's what I suspect is going to happen on this one, because there's too much money on the table. If you think about it, it's an undisputed. Certainly, it's a unification, and it would unify 135, and it would set the stage for future fights. But if you think about it, you still got Lomachenko. He's out fighting the war, and he didn't get his chance. He got robbed, arguably, and Devin Haney hasn't really done anything. He's defended the title he does have, but people don't regard his title as legit. Even the WBC president disregarded it. So he's kind of been disrespected. To me, and if Devin listens to this, and I know he won't, but if Devin listens to this, Devin Haney has to do more than what he's done. He has to get rid of George Kambosos. He has to figure out a way to get a stoppage or a knockout. Not only because he's in Australia. That's not even it. That's part of it, but that's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking, and it's top rank. Top rank is part of this. I'm saying, to me, I don't see that somebody is going to want an outcome here. Like I'm saying that it feels like they're going to want to draw this out and go for a draw to extend it and make more money off the fans. That's my gut speaking. That's all I'm saying. It has nothing to do with the skill of either fighter. Again, Kambosos is a solid fighter, rock solid fighter. He showed he was tough as nails against Teofimo by far. And Devin Haney's a very skilled fighter. However, Devin Haney had a rough time against Linares. And Devin Haney has never been overly aggressive in the ring. And I'm saying that I believe powers that be don't want an outcome here. And Devin Haney needs to create an outcome. He needs to show more than he's shown. He needs to go out there and prove that Kambosos is not in his class, and I'm not talking about boxing master class, because if we remember Williams versus Lara as an example, sometimes you can outbox a guy soundly and still not get your hand raised. To me, Haney's got to get a knockout or a stoppage. He's got to figure out how to do it. I don't know what it's going to take. He's got to figure it out. He's got to do more than what he's done. I don't know if his style is just preservation on purpose, right, to extend his career, and that's why. Whatever it is, he's got to step up and he's got to show the world that he's here and who he is. And this is the moment to do it. I don't think he's going to get it if he just does a boxing masterclass like I think he's going to want to. He's got to get a knockout or stoppage. That's my gut speaking. Regardless, it's an exciting fight to see, especially because we're going to have Spence versus Ugas here in April coming up. And then you got this one happening. I'm hearing some chatter about Joshua and Dillian White. That's kind of weird. And so there's that kind of flipping around. And I'm hearing that Deontay Wilder might be coming back. So that's flipping around. So we got some exciting stuff happening for sure. Then you got Jermell Charlo and Brian Castano. That's happening. We got some exciting stuff happening. This one's top of the list, though, because it's been a long time coming, and we get to clean up 135 finally after so long. And then hopefully whenever Lomachenko comes back, assuming he does, we can give him the rematch he so rightly deserves and then truly crown a king of the division, which we've been sorely lacking. And I truly hope that Crying Garcia doesn't get a shot at any of these guys, by the way.